We got one job to do, and that's tell the truth. I think that at some point, 95% of the wrestling community has gotten on board with the build and the hype to this WrestleMania just being complete trash. It's trash. This is a trash build to WrestleMania. And for the people that are going there, my God, I feel sorry for you. Because you're going in there with very low expectations, and I'm pretty sure that you're probably not hyped about the money that you spent on getting a ticket to go there. However, let me breathe life into you. You are going to enjoy your time at WrestleMania. The show is going to be good. The events surrounding WrestleMania are also going to be good, and if you do plan on tailgating, you're going to have a blast. The people, the audience, the fans, everyone involved is going to make sure that you and the people around them are going to have an amazing time. It happens every year and typically at every wrestling event. However, the problem isn't with the event itself. It's not with WrestleMania itself. It's with the lies that have been spewed in the build to this WrestleMania and also how the company is portrayed. We're being lied to. Business is not booming as usual. Hype is not through the roof as usual. They don't have their finger on the pulse of what the people want to see, etc., etc. There's no way that this company, namely Triple H, can have his finger on the pulse of this WrestleMania and this audience and give us what we've been getting since the start of the year. I think it all went downhill when they put all of their eggs into the basket of the debut of NXT January 6th. And to be quite honest with you, it feels as though there was more hype and more build for January 6th Netflix than there is for WrestleMania. Am I right? Am I right? Am I off on that? Think about it. Just think about it. Think how hyped you were for WrestleMania versus where you were for January 6th Netflix debut. They pulled out all the bells and whistles for that, but for this, didn't really give you much to get excited about. There was a lot of twists and turns that could have gone in directions that could have made this a really good show. For example, everybody's going to say this off the top, but the fallout and the follow-up with John Cena's heel turn. Terribly misused. Terribly. Now, let's look at it. We have a part-timer that's coming in, and we're going to put him in the main spot on our main show, WrestleMania. And we also know the following dates in which he's going to be available to either do his promos, do his segments, maybe a little physicality. We know when he's available to make appearances. So how do we make the most out of his appearances? Okay. We give him 2 weeks off following one of the biggest heel turns in wrestling history, allegedly. And we have him come back and he cuts a promo explaining himself, in a sense. However, you get nothing. Now, I'm not upset with that promo. Thought it was a pretty good promo. My problem was, as I've always said, Cody Rhodes' follow-up. He comes out, and instead of being angry, instead of being upset that he had a black eye following that Elimination Chamber, and he had a busted eardrum by way of Travis Scott, he did nothing to retaliate. Not a smack, not a punch, not an elbow drop, not a bionic ambo. What did I call it? What did I call it? Nothing! Bionic elbow. Words, pal, learn them. But no retaliation, no nothing. Now, in the beginning, there were people in the camp saying, well, if they fight now, then that blows the payoff at WrestleMania. And to you people, I say you're stupid. At some point, look, we got to start calling some of you apologists stupid. We got to. Because of that, and because of that mindset, we got the build that we got for this match. Now, they do have one more appearance to go on the Go Home show for SmackDown, and hopefully all hell breaks loose. However, we've had a month and a half of nothing. You can't just, okay, we're going to give them nothing, and then at the last minute, we're going to get them hype about it. I should be hyped the entire time. I should be anticipating seeing this match the entire time. And the anticipation on your main match has been nothing. Let's go back to WrestleMania 40, where we were supposed to get Dwayne and Roman. We didn't get it. Why? Because people wanted to finish their story. Okay, let's finish stories, right? We knew that Rock was a part-timer, was going to be on limited time. His availability was going to be limited. What did we do? We made the most of the time. He came in, he did a concert, he did his stuff with Roman, he did his stuff with building up the Bloodline story and the connectivity that he has between them. And then he got to work on Cody. He got to work on Cody on a weekly basis. hands and feet, going crazy on his Mama Rhodes. Things that were memorable. He created memorable moments leading us into WrestleMania. They took advantage of the days that he had available. And he showed up. He showed up and he showed out. What do we get from Cena in this build? And I'm not blaming Cena. I'm blaming WWE on how they decided to use the availability that was given to them. They did nothing. And it doesn't only stop there. We got to talk about Triple H. At this point, Triple H should just be a wrestler because there's been more build for Triple H's Hall of Fame induction than there has been for WrestleMania. I've seen more video packages on a show in and show out basis than I have for WrestleMania. This is insane, bro. What is what is the deal with Triple H, yo? Like, I'm not, all right. At first I was being a little tiny bit facetious, but now it's ridiculous. This dude is everywhere, yo. He's everywhere. Pat McAfee did whatever that show is that he did, and he has a video package with Triple H as a voiceover. Bro, I can't dodge Triple H. Everywhere I go, I hear Triple H or I see Triple H way more than I'm seeing the guys that are supposed to be on the WrestleMania show. Why is this? Like, is there nobody that works there that's telling him, hey, Paul, you're kind of putting yourself over more than the WrestleMania card. You might want to put a little more effort into what you're giving a WrestleMania card as opposed to what you're giving yourself for the Hall of Fame. Bro, we don't care about this Hall of Fame. And let's say we did. Let's say that we did. Let me ask you this question. Who's going into the Hall of Fame? Just off the top of your head, don't look at nothing. Don't even think about it. Just who's going into the Hall of Fame? Cool. Got your answers? Did you get your answers? All right, cool. How many times have you seen video packages of them? Give me an answer. I want to just think about your answer. You ain't got to type it in the comments. Just how many times have you seen a Triple H video package per show, or heard a Triple H voiceover per show, or just heard Triple H voiceovers out there in the ethosphere and everywhere in the world? Bro, Triple H has to be stopped. This is egregious at this point. It's egregious, and somebody's got to say something. This is disgusting work what Triple H is doing, overshadowing his own talent. How are people supposed to get over when he's too busy putting all of the time and effort into himself? He's not even working. Who gets the payoff? Who wins here? Who wins? There's no payoff to all of this promotion that Triple H is putting into himself. I said this a couple of months ago. Triple H has more concerned about putting himself over and making sure that the talent doesn't shine to the capacity that they can shine to, because he doesn't want to be forgotten. And it's a shame, because this company and WWE and the stars should be way further ahead than what they actually are. But they never will be when you have an egotistical maniac in there that's more so worried about not being forgotten and putting himself over. I mean, look at what they did to Roman. Look at what they're doing to Cody. All right, for you Cody fans, here, I'll give you a bone. Cody could be a much better babyface than he's being. How? You make Cody a man of his word. He said he wanted to be a fighting champion. Cody's not a fighting champion. Cody's a guy in a suit that holds a belt, that comes out and gives you a promo that once in a while he might get into the ring and wrestle. Braun Breaker should be a much bigger star by now. Should probably be at the top of the card by now. What do you get with Braun Breaker? Oh, damn, we got a Braun Breaker match? Well, I guess we're still undecided on if he's a babyface or a heel. There's no investment in these wrestlers, and it's ridiculous. How do we get excited for WrestleMania when our investment in the characters isn't there? Let's take a look at who's not on the card, or who has a match and it's not even a predominant match, a good match or anything. Why we have a Liv Morgan match, a tag team Liv Morgan match against a schmoz tag team that you threw together in the last quarter hour after the year that Liv Morgan has just had. Liv Morgan, and Triple H has said it himself where he lied. And go back and listen to that Elimination Chamber post-show press conference. Triple H lied through his fucking teeth. Does it feel like it's WrestleMania season now? Okay, good. Nothing! Then he proceeds to talk about particular women and how much they've impressed him and how much he can't wait to get them started on their road to WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss, anyone? With that reaction that she got to Royal Rumble, she got one match on SmackDown and you never seen the lady again. I don't know what the deal is with Alexa Bliss. They ain't tell us nothing. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Who's on the card that doesn't need to be? AJ Styles and Logan Paul. They don't need to be on the card. AJ is a legacy act. I get it. But when you have AJ Styles, who's rarely even there anymore because of injuries and et cetera, we're bumping off the Street Profits, guys who have been working their ass off to get themselves over, to get themselves the titles back, and to make themselves relevant again. And they've done so, and they don't even get a shot on the Mania card. In what world? In what world? Why? Now, granted, they don't really have a good enough opponent that's going to be across from them on the other side of the ring in a WrestleMania. Even though they've been pumping up the SmackDown tag team division, the rest of those guys is ass. Let's be real. They're not relevant enough. They're not good. Well, I'm not going to say they're not good enough. They are good enough, but they just haven't been pushed enough for it. Again, that lies at the feet of creative and writing. Who's in control of that? The game. So do the Street Profits deserve to be bumped off the WrestleMania card? Fuck it. Have them wrestle each other for all I care. They should be on the card. But we got AJ Styles, who's never there. And to be quite honest with you, if it wasn't for him being a legacy act, he wouldn't be over at all. And then you got Logan Paul, who's losing his fanfare and his value in the company because, well, he just hasn't had the best year. Let's be real. Is he good? Sure. Does he cut a good promo? He used to. I don't know what that is that he's doing now. They're horrible. I don't think Logan Paul deserves to be on this WrestleMania card above other people. For example, Sami Zayn. We're just going to act like this dude's dead after Elimination Chamber? He all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that dude. Get him in WrestleMania. And I'm not even Sami Zayn fan because he's a Canadian wrestler, so fuck that guy. But he, at the very least, after the year he's had and he's been in the middle of everything, we got nothing for him at WrestleMania. Why? How we get here? Bloodline? No relevance at all in this WrestleMania. None. There's no Bloodline relevance after they've carried this company over the past 3 to 4 years. Now they get nothing. Couldn't even keep them together as a group. And I'm not even talking about the good part of the Bloodline. I'm talking about the misfits. Couldn't do nothing for them. Now, granted, Jacob Fatu, he gets a U.S. title match. Then we got Solo Sikoa, who you've completely cleared, just completely cooled off after that January 6th. Chelsea Green. Why does she not have a match? We gave these women these mid-card titles. Lyra Valkyria. Hey, we're going to stick you in a tag team. That mid-card title match, that mid-card title that we gave you, don't worry about it. We ain't put enough emphasis on it yet anyway. But we're going to give you a match, though. Just get with Bayley. Chelsea Green? Nothing! At this point, I would be perfectly fine if they gave Chelsea Green. No, I was about to lie to you. I was going to say you could give Chelsea. Actually, you could. But I was going to lie and say I would be okay if you gave Chelsea Green a 6-woman tag with her. What's the name of that group? The Her Service or whatever, the girls, whatever their name is, and find 3 chicks for them to wrestle. But I take that back because Chelsea Green has been a godsend for what they want to do with the U.S. title. She just ain't got no opponents. And again, that lies on the foot of booking and creative. Tell me this. We got nothing for Roxanne Perez, right? We got nothing for her. Have nothing to do. But you know what? Chelsea Green also doesn't have any opponents on the entire roster in that mid. What, she got Beecham? B-Fab? Hey, Roxanne, sorry, we got nothing for you. Why not? Chelsea Green's right there. She needs something to do. Can't have nice things, folks. Sorry, pal. Chad Gable. We got nothing for Chad Gable. El Grande Americano, Wiza. I said Chad Gable. Why do I say Chad Gable? Because Chad Gable should be in a much more relevant spot on the card than he is. Right now, he is a comedy act / a nothing, a nobody. And that's absolutely criminal to the talent that is a Chad Gable. Absolutely criminal. New Day gets a title match with the War Raiders. All right, cool. Granted, I'll take it. There's been absolutely no build, no hype for this whatsoever. New Day said, hey, we want a tag team title match. They got one on Raw, and then they get one at WrestleMania because that one was a DQ match. That was our build to a WrestleMania match? Huh? Jade Cargill and Naomi? Love it. I have no complaints there whatsoever. Perfect build up, perfect promos, perfect video package. They're doing a great job with that. Charlotte and Tiffany, what the fuck ever. I'm going to do a prediction video after this. It's not going to be as negative. I just want to get my thoughts out here. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. How they get me to not care about this? How they get me to not care? If this happened last year, hype would be through the roof. How did they get? I don't know how they did this. How did they get me to not care about these 3? That's insane. It takes a work of God for me to not care about these three. It takes a work of God, and they did it. They absolutely. Is the match going to be group? The match is going to be fantastic, but I don't care.
I just don't give a fuck.
They didn't get, like, where's the WrestleMania hype? Goon and Jay, all right, they started turning up a little bit. I still wish that Jay would get with the physicals, but he's scared. Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Jacob's going to do what Jacob does. I hope that he wins the thing. But you know, LOL, Triple H doesn't want anybody to be more important than him. So Jacob Fatu, sorry, buddy, you're too popular. We're going to have you lose. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. This, outside of Jade and Naomi, might have the best build for WrestleMania. And people were shitting on this the entire time. Me, I ain't have no thoughts about it because they didn't make me care until the past few weeks where they really started turning it up. I'm good with that. But you're going to give me Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria in some gauntlet match in which they didn't struggle whatsoever because everybody in there was jobbers. It's not my fault they're jobbers. It's not their fault they're jobbers. Booking and creative. Blame them. Their ass. Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. Bro, who gives a shit? When's the last time that I'm Googling this. I'm going to Google this. When was Finn Balor's last singles win was June 3rd, 2004, where he defeated Dragon Lee. Jesus Christ. It's been almost a year since this guy's had a singles win. How about Dominic Mysterio? When was Dominic Mysterio's last singles win? All right, let's see what we got here. Dominic's last win was October 28th of 2024, where he beat Damian Priest. I'm pretty sure it was some fluke win, but that's the last time that Dom won a match. You mean to tell me that two guys who haven't had a singles win in over 6 months, both of them get an IC title match at WrestleMania? Tell me when this shit makes sense. Do I have a problem with them being in an IC title match? No. But god damn, can we give them some wins along the way? Jesus, why is it so hard for Triple H to book, for booking and creative to book wrestling? Why is it so hard? EO, Bianca, and Ripley? Bro, this feud, the way that they've been building this has been just so up and down. Like, who's coming out of this looking good? Who's going into WrestleMania looking good? EO keeps getting mushed as if she doesn't belong here. Bianca, the reactions that she's been getting is she heel or face? We don't even know anymore. The character Bianca Belair that we see on TV, clearly a babyface. But somehow, the way that they've had her portrayed, or the way that they've been booking her, somewhere along the way, they allow the crowd to turn on her. Rhea Ripley, somebody that clearly does not belong in this match, based off of the results that she's been giving us. She lost the title. She didn't win the rematch, but she gets back in the title match. Why? Because we're arguing. You get a title match at WrestleMania. Bro, what the? I just want to be excited about WrestleMania season. I just want to be excited. Is that too much to ask for? Randy Orton, we don't even know who his opponent going to be. I think it should be Nick Aldis. I don't know who y'all think it should be. Aleister Black. I don't know who y'all think it should be. I just want to be excited about WrestleMania season. And it just doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. It feels like the main event to WrestleMania is Triple H being inducted to the Hall of Fame. And I'm blaming all of y'all for saying, let Papa H cook. Thanks for watching. And please, stay in good health, love yourself, tell someone you love them, even if it's a repeat offense, and click on one of these 2 videos.